As artists, you're both known for your photorealistic or your use of photography in the planning stages of your work. However, in your exhibitions that you've both recently produced, you've both clearly steered away from the photorealistic tag that would go on your work. Could each of you explain, with Hynek beginning, a little bit about why that is?
I like always, working from the photographs, but I realized that, my range in my art is quite big. So, I do also abstract. But when I do, hyperreal paintings, I think there must be a really clear, idea of the concept and everything, because there is always a problem. If you paint realistically, then the meaning could be really, funny, because, it's very real, So, that's why it's important to bring there also the concept, to have it like more, both, thinkings, like not making painting just real, but there must be a great,
So it's not just a replication, but you're actually adding into it your own ideas.
I think that's why I like in my project to jump into many different, subjects, because I wouldn't be happy to create painting just in the hyperreal, style, or to being just in one topic, because I think it's just as a one layer, it wouldn't be interesting. So for me it's very important to jump and searching different ideas and put it them together, mix them together.
For me, I would say that my work has always been more photo-referential than photorealistic. I always use photographs as the base for what I'm doing, and from far away it can look very photorealistic, but the closer you get, you really get a sense of the paint. And I find that's why I paint. I like the medium. I think it's interesting, and I like the fact that when you come close, you can really see how the paint is working to make the image. So.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I think that's a good point, because that's why I think we paint from photograph, because if you print the image, then it's completely flat to us, because it just as a information. But when you painted it,
then it becomes an object instead of just an image.
So then you realize, okay, there is something more, and then it attracts us as well. So and there is also a great link to the masters painters, like Renaissance or whatever. So it is different when you just in this show or what I have done before. I can imagine that I could print it on the canvases, but it would be a dead information to me. It will be just like, okay, some photographs, but even if we copy all photographs, then we can get lots of richness of colors, of human mistakes, or I don't know. So but it's handmade, so that makes different compared to just print photographs.
So in a way, it's you each being able to show your touch on the canvas. So it's not just a direct replica, but it's your interpretation.
Exactly. Yeah.
Great. Nowadays, it seems that a lot of exhibitions that are put on rely very heavily on a shock factor to draw in an audience. I'd like to get each of you to discuss your thoughts and opinions on that, and what it is for you that an audience should see and should be the reason why they attend an exhibition and relate to a body of work.
I think shock value is something that's been used a lot. It also depends on what you think is shocking. If something actually shocks me, then I get excited by it. But I think a lot of people say it's got shock value, but it's not actually that shocking. So if you can pull it off and it's actually shocking, good for you. But I think it's kind of hard to do these days, because people have really tried pretty much everything.
I think it's also quite difficult to shock by the paintings now, because lots of things was done already, and from classical paintings to abstract. So that's why many artists, the conceptual artists, they move to subjects, sculptures, whatever, and they like Damien Hirst, he started to cut animals. So there is a difference. That might be shocking, but the shock in the art is just like up and then it goes down, and it's beaten by the others, little shocks. So the shocking to me, not shocking, but what it could be, I think the political art. For example, if we will be thinking, okay, let's do something contemporary, like what's going on now. So we will paint massive Bin Laden's hat, you know, how he died, for example. And that would be just like straight away, then the media, you know, they will like it. Or so this is the example of how, you know, the artist could do that. But I think we both.
That ends so quickly though.
Yeah,
If
exactly.
you do that, it's shocking and then it's
And
over.
then it's
And I
gone.
feel like that whole concept has been done so
Yeah.
many times
Yeah,
that
exactly.
it's not even shocking anymore almost.
No, but I mean, it's what I want to say is just like, you know, for 5 minutes, you know, media take it and then they forgot it.
Yeah.
It's just like, you know, quickly, you know, message and then it's gone. So I think we both, I mean, we work more with the timeless subjects.
Yeah.
So I think we hope that our work, you know, could be more, you know, powerful and stronger in 10 years or, you know, 20 years. So
Right.
it wouldn't suit just to this time, you know. So that's why, I mean, I tried to, like many years ago, you know, I have done some paintings which was very close to, well, it was almost a comment of the Kosovo War, you know, in the end of the 90s. And so I have done like quite big peaks, but after that I realized, you know, that I don't want to continue on it because it's just like, we can see it every day in the media, you know, those informations. So I mean, I could just collect them, but what's the point, you know? I mean, the media does it.
The first oil painting I actually did was just to test shock value, and I painted a steeple with a woman being impaled by the steeple, just hanging on it, and it was ridiculous because immediately everybody started saying like phallic symbolism and, you know, it was religion and women, and it was like, I was like, wow, it's that simple, and I kind of, after that, I could let it go, but it was worth a try just to see what happened, so.
Yeah, it's good to have this experience, you know, to know like, because we work visually, so I mean, we know what we can get from the portraiture, from the still life, so
Yeah.
it's good to know from, you know, to get that.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah.
Could you each explain a bit what it is you would like a visitor to your exhibitions to leave with? What it is you'd like them to come in and achieve whilst they're within the exhibition, and what their lasting impression for you should be?
All of my work, or every show I have, has a concept and kind of a story, and I kind of like the idea that they can put a narration to it themselves. I don't want to tell anybody exactly what to think, but I think that they evoke parts of a story, and I want them to go around. And then also just to be in the presence of painting. I show people my work online all the time, but there's nothing like seeing it in real life, having that experience. So I hope that's what happens when you come see the show.
Well, I mean, for me, you know, I work in the 4 different projects, so for me it's sometimes quite difficult to, I mean, I understand clearly what I'm doing, but I think for the viewer, for the people who come to my show, they almost quite see in every show a different, you know, my works, and so I think I should, you know, to explain more about the ideas. But I mean, I think at the first point when the people realize, you know, my work, I think they could be quite lost, which, you know, my projects are quite lost. But I mean, but later on when they, you know, discover more things, I think they realize, okay, there is one direct, you know, in my art, and then they can just go deeper and deeper. So I think for me it's quite important to talk about my works to the people who are interested in my work. So I mean, but I do understand that the meanings, there are many meanings, you know, very different, you know, meanings. So I mean, I don't want to say that my ideas are just the right one. I'm just trying to keep my ideas and to be the best of representing them. But I mean, it's difficult to say like, you know, I mean, this painting has to represent that, but the people will be thinking differently, completely differently about what I want to say. But
That's great. Great. I think that's fantastic. Thank you both very much indeed. It's a very good little insight, a snapshot insight. Thank you.